Welcome back, everybody. We had some severe weather yesterday. Yesterday is when we were on the lake noodling. You guys will see that video before you see this one, but these were made back to back, so it just takes me a few days to edit. But anyway, we were about an hour and a half west of here, and that storm did end up hitting this area too. Not nearly as much rain, unfortunately, because everything's really dry, but a ton of wind. So my corn got kind of blown over. It could be a lot worse. I'm kind of surprised that it's not. It's just going to be a few stalks, really. The super high temperatures that we've been having several days in a row, over 100, and no rain has just kind of really dried out the base of these. But we're going to do what we can to get them propped back up. Pretty simple, really. We're just going to wet the soil around the base and kind of compact that a little bit. And if we have to add a little bit more dirt just for support on one side, we will. All right, so we didn't give them like a really good watering, but the soil around the base is pretty wet, so it's a good time to go in and just kind of like pack that around the stem. And I'll set the camera back a little way so that you guys can see the plants kind of getting set upright, because it's hard to tell, like with everything going in every which direction, like which ones are laid over, but there's a couple of them in there that I'm a little worried about. The corn we've got growing came from a survival kit that we got online at www.survivalgardenseeds.com. Now, I've been working with these folks through the spring and the early summer, and they have been good enough to offer me a discount code for all my followers. That's good all year long, so if you guys have already started your garden but you want to get a jump start on next year, all you got to do is choose one of the 3 survival kits, enter in the discount code, and you've got high quality, heirloom, non-GMO, non-hybridized seeds on their way to your door. survivalgardenseeds.com, discount code Nina Rend, Woodwater Outdoors. It's looking a little bit better. Still got some in the back here. There's one right back there falling over. This one's still kind of leaning right here. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, a lot of these, they just needed a little press on the base to stand them up again. I've got a few more plants to prop up, but I'm going to grab some of that grass mulch that we have in the pile behind me and kind of put it around the base. It's not going to offer a ton in the way of support, but it's going to help keep the soil from eroding off the base of that plant, because they're a really, really shallow root. So there's not a whole lot holding them in the ground, and we're going to try to give that dirt as much protection as we can. Starting to get some good action on the beans I planted. Got a nice thin layer of grass all the way around, all 3 rows. Airflow is really important to the base of a corn plant. It's really important to the base of all plants, really. You want to keep that stuff around the middle and all in between in check. So we just did a real shallow layer of grass, and I'm going to wet it down so that hopefully that little bit of fluff will mat down to nothing and just kind of protect that dirt. And a couple of these, this guy right here, he's still pretty wobbly. And there's another big one right here. Doesn't really want to stand up straight where it's supposed to be, so I got a couple little supports I'm gonna put in around the base, and hopefully everybody else will be okay. See the squash patch? Oh yeah. And that is it for us, y'all, for this update anyway. I'm gonna stand here and water these for a little bit longer with the hose. I hate doing that, but we don't have any rain on the horizon, and I'm gonna have to give everybody else in the garden a douse too. It's been insanely hot, but we got a break from it today. It was only about 87. Tomorrow should be the same, so I can give these guys a drink while it's nice and cool. And tonight I think we're gonna open up all the windows and air the house out. This is gonna be the first night that we can actually open windows and not have the AC on. Y'all, we had a nighttime temperature 2 nights ago of 82 at night, like in the middle of the night. Like, it didn't even do because it didn't get cool enough for dew point. I've never seen that happen. But I'm gonna give everybody a good drink. Hopefully in the next couple of days these all perk up and kind of grab a hold again, and that water will help. We'll see you guys back when we check on the squash. Alright guys, it has been 2 days exactly, and the corn has been doing pretty good, but it was still leaning. So we've got this going on. Just a little temporary support while these guys get back on their feet. So far that seems to be working. Overall, we're still a lot better off than we were. All my soldiers in line. That's where we like them. Beans are starting to grow up the corn back here. See that little bean plant there? And I planted a few squash a good while back actually. They're not growing too fast because they're not getting any sunlight down here. But I planted some squash, see how they'll do. I've got some butternut winter squash in the tray right now, getting ready to go out into the ground. This is just the same straight neck yellow squash that we're growing over here, but thought I'd throw it in there, see if it helps with the soil any. The beans are going to bring in nitrogen. Hopefully they'll start grabbing onto the stalks here in a bit. They haven't really put out their runners yet. Kind of want to just lay over the ground there, but we'll get them. I appreciate you guys, and join us in the next video when we talk about our squash. We've got a couple over here to pick. I'm saving that first big one. That's the first one to come on. That's going to be my seed giver. And I think we've got one to fry up right in there. Got some zucchini coming on. They're itty bitty. Ha ha ha. Tiny zucchini.